What's happening? It's Gareth, and I'm coming at you today from Guatemala and welcoming you all to day 2 of the 7-day LOA pregame. This is a 7-day free challenge for anybody that is looking to come up with a strategic plan for their life using a simple system called the My Perfect Day system. If you've already registered and you're on this journey with us, awesome. It's really good to have you here. Glad to have you with us. If you are watching this for the first time, registration for this challenge is now closed. You can follow along in the units tab of this group, but you'll be working on your own and you're not going to have access to our online Telegram community or to the digital workbook which accompanies this program, but you're able to go through these videos and work through them on your own, starting at day 1 and going through to day 7 as you design your own intentional plan for your life using the My Perfect Day system. So what we are talking about today in day 2 is 3 components of your perfect day. They are called home, vocation, and finances. So the idea here is we are coming up with a strategic plan for your life using this really simple exercise called the My Perfect Day system. And every single day we're looking at various components of your perfect day and giving you the opportunity to write down what a perfect day looks like for you. In the morning, we did that yesterday. What does your morning look like? And today we're going to unpack home, vocation, and finances. These are really beautiful parts to be able to dream into. And to be honest, in the work that we're doing, the financial component seems to be where a lot of people get stuck. Many people in this group and law of attraction practitioners are working hard to understand how to get the law of attraction to bring money into their life. So today's lesson is super, super important, but also fun. It gives you the opportunity to dream into what your ideal home looks like, what you want to do for work and what you want to do for a living, and how much money you want to make. Because for many of us, money is something that sits in the shadow, or we always want more of it, but we often not sure exactly how much more we want, or when we get the money, even what we're going to be doing with it. So let's start off by, first of all, letting me know in the comments below, tag your accountability partner. If you're going through this program with an accountability partner, we've spoken quite a lot about this, you've got 10 times more chance of finishing this program if you're working through it with somebody. And hopefully if you're doing this and you're spending your time watching this video, that you're intentional about the reason that you're here, that you want to make sure that you are going through this video so that you can create day 2's exercise, fill out the instructions that I'm going to give you now and follow along. But if you really want to make sure you get through it, make sure that you're going through it with an accountability partner, and tag your accountability partner in this video below. And so they know that, thank you, Rebecca, for tagging Michelle. Good to have you with us. Yeah, and so that they know that the next video is up. Right, so let's jump straight into today's lesson. Home. Write down in present tense, in positive terms, what your ideal home looks like. It may be the current home that you're living in which case just keep writing exactly as it is. If you are looking to move into a different home, or your perfect day exists in a different home, or if your perfect day exists in a couple of different locations, write that down. So here's an example. I wake up in a home that is on the beach. I can hear the waves crashing onto the ocean, onto the beach from my bed before I even open my eyes. I move into an open plan living room that has stacking doors that open out and I can look out onto the ocean and write, whatever that looks like. Write about the kitchen, write about how many bedrooms it's got. If you are super specific about it, write those things down. And if you're not 100% sure, there's also an opportunity to not be exactly specific. So for example, me, when I first wrote this down, I wrote down that I live somewhere close to water. And I'm actually just going to swing this around because when I wrote my perfect day, maybe you can see it out there. It's not so great. Anyway, there's the lake. And when I wrote down my perfect day, I wrote down that I wake up feeling refreshed without an alarm clock, and I wake up somewhere next to water. And at the time, I was not living here. I was living in Johannesburg, miles away from water. And I now live in Guatemala. So you may not want to be too specific. You may just want to say things like I'm surrounded by nature and I wake up to the sound of birds. Whatever those things are, write down exactly what your ideal home looks like. Again, you may be specific about exactly where it is, Or it might be somewhere in the mountains, or I like it to be somewhere on the beach. I want it to be somewhere in Latin America, or I want it to be somewhere in Greece. Whatever it is that you want to write down, write down what your ideal home looks like. If you have more than one property, write that down. Say, I live in one of 3 homes. I have a house in the mountains. I know Matt's perfect day has got a home in the city. He likes to live in the city where he can do access to sort of lifestyle design stuff, access to community, access to people, access to art, that sort of stuff. He has a home in the mountains, and he has a home in the beach. And the thing about this magic and the thing about the law of attraction is you don't have to think now about how you're going to get there or how much it's going to cost. Just write down what you want. So for Matt, he is navigating between a beautiful home in the mountains where he's at the moment. He's rented a place on the beach with his partner, and she's down there. And then he has a home that he's rented in Oaxaca City, and he's just paying rent in these 3 places. And when he's in the one place, someone else stays in the other and covers the rent there. So don't think too much about exactly how it is that you're going to get there. Just write down what would be your ideal living situation for your home in your perfect day. Cool? Good. Home, vocation. What is it that you do in your perfect day? What is it that you do for a living if it was absolutely perfect? Again, cast away whatever you're currently doing for a living, unless that's true for you. But if your perfect day includes waking up and baking bread for a school, and that's your ideal job, write that down. If you are super clear that you want to be practicing law and you spend your days in a courtroom fighting justice and looking after the things that are important to you, write those things down. But if those are not your truth, write down what feels true for you. And so write down what you would do in your ideal day for work. If you're not sure about what you want to do in your perfect day, or you're not sure what an ideal job would look like for you, or an ideal business would look like for you, then I'd encourage you to not be specific, but write down how you want to feel in the work that you're doing. So maybe you would write down something like this. I do meaningful work where I'm in charge of a project that makes a difference in the world, and it makes me feel fulfilled. It brings in more money than I need, and I'm able to donate some of the additional money to a charity that I care about. If you know what that charity would be, write that down. So be specific where you know what those things are. And if you don't know what they are, there is really a lot of magic in not knowing what you want to do, but knowing how you want to feel. Because as you start to understand about law of attraction and learn about the process of manifestation, it has everything to do with how you feel. And what we're doing here is developing this perfect day so that you can start to feel into the feelings of what it feels like when this perfect day exists. So as you start to write down exactly what your ideal vocation would be, if you're not exactly specific about what it would be, write it down. So for me, before I started doing this work and having income coming to me from the work that I truly love, I wrote down that I have a location independent business, which means I work from my laptop. I work on my own terms. Work doesn't feel like work. I work on projects that make money and that make a difference in the world, and income flows to me passively. So that's work. Write down exactly what work would look like for you in your perfect day. And then the last piece is finance. There's quite a lot to get through today. So the financial piece is linked somehow to your vocation. But again, it doesn't have to be. It could be something like, I have $10,000 a month of passive income flowing to me from the work that I do. Be specific about exactly the amount of money that you want to come in. I would also encourage you to take the time outside of this exercise, although you can include it into your perfect day. Although I wouldn't get your perfect day to be too bogged down into details. The manifestation of money is an entirely different process, and there's a lot of work that many of us have to do around clearing some of our old stories around money. So I would encourage you for now just to write down exactly what the specific amount of money that you want to be calling into your life, and then to write down what you're going to do with that money. What are you going to do with $10,000 a month? $5,000 a month will pay for my living costs, $2,000 into savings, and $3,000 is into community projects that I love and care about. Or $3,000 is investing into a new business. Whatever that is, have a plan for the money, because part of the process of manifesting money is this idea of having a plan and a home for your money. So for many of us that are not good with a little bit of money, it pretty much follows on that it doesn't matter if you get more money, you're probably not going to be good with more money, and you're probably going to have more challenges. And that's where many of us get stuck, in calling in more money. So for now, just write down how much money flows into your world, how it flows into your world, what you do with it. Perhaps it's linked to the vocation point we spoke about before. And then what you're going to do with that money when it comes in. So that's it for today. Home, vocation, and money. Write down in present tense in a positive tone. So not, I don't want to be poor. I am wealthy. Wealth flows to me easily. I have a great relationship with money. Write down those sorts of statements and how they fit into your perfect day. For those of you that are part of our Telegram group, it's been amazing to see you guys showing up for one another. People that are arriving in this program that haven't yet got accountability partners are connecting with other people all over the world and supporting one another as they go through this process of setting up their perfect day and go through this challenge. If you are watching this and you haven't yet got your technology set up, we are pretty close to having our livemoreperfectdays.com/setup page just about ready. Perhaps, Lamanya, if you're watching this, just write in the comments below how close we are with that page. It's going to be a step-by-step guide to make sure that you can get your digital workbook and get set up in the Telegram group. It's a private community of all the people that are going through this program that are able to connect with one another and support each other on this challenge. So check in with your accountability partner that they have received this video. Let them know that you have written these 3 steps down for your perfect day. So you are talking about home, vocation, and finance. Once you've done that, check in with your accountability partner, make sure that they've done the same. And then the invitation today is for you to find an image of something that looks like what an ideal home looks like for you. Maybe it's a photo of your current home. Maybe you Google sweet mountain cabin and you find a picture that resonates with you. I'd like you to take that photo. And we're going to do something with all these photos at the end, by the way. So the one that you did yesterday that many of you didn't share on social media, today's photo, I want you to take it and post it onto your Facebook story and tag at Live More Perfect Days on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll reshare it so that other people can start following your Instagram. And there's something really important about finding an image and really allowing yourself to feel what that feels like when you look at this potential home and where you would live in your perfect day. So tag your accountability partner, share that image on social media, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 3, where we're going to unpack the next phase of developing your perfect day. Thank you so much for being on this challenge with us. So beautiful to see so many people. When we closed our registrations last night, I need to check. I think there might be a few more, but we're almost at 300 people doing this challenge, and it feels so good to have 300 of you going through this program and taking the time to develop an intentional plan for your life. What I'm seeing at the moment with all the chaos that's happening in the world is that my life feels like it's getting better, and it feels like there's a split between people that are making a choice about how they want to show up in the world and those that are being dragged along by the collective narrative of fear and uncertainty and chaos and coronaviruses and all the things that are happening at the moment. And so I'm really feeling the power of being in my groundedness and in my truth, as I know exactly what it is that I want in my life. I know what it is, and it's almost like I'm unshakable because I've taken the time to create a plan for my life. And I'm so excited to have almost 300 people going through this program, and I'm so jazzed that there's people doing this. And once you do this, you show up better in your family, in your relationships, as a parent, in your communities. It really is a powerful, powerful exercise. So thank you so much for being on this challenge with us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 3 of the Perfect Day Challenge. Ciao.